The next website that I wanted to share with you is called ReadWorks. Um, this website is free to teachers, certainly, and I think possibly to parents as well. It's basically a library of comprehension passages, complete with questions. There are lots of different choices for what kind of content, what kind of activity. You can choose your grade level, the topic, non-fiction, fiction, poetry. You can change how many words and the lexile level of your students. Um, so, like this one, I typed in the search box. This is one that I did with one of my students recently. Um, so it's for a seventh grader. It's got the lexile, it's got the number of words. It tells you it's non-fiction and that there's a set of questions. So the student would read through the passage, or you can have them listen to it depending on what kind of comprehension you're trying to check or assess. And then they can answer the questions all based on what they just read. One of my favorite things about this website is that there are three different ways that you can give your students access to the passage. Um, You can project it onto the whiteboard if you want to do it as whole class or whole group. You can print it, which is what I usually do. Uh, Let's get rid of the image to save ink. And I've said I want it with the written answer lines. You don't have to have. So then it just makes it one passage that you can go ahead and fill in. You also have the option to assign it to your students. Um, So I don't actually have any students in my class, so I can't assign it to anybody. But if you had your class all set up in here, you could assign it to the whole class, group, or just specific students. So you could have every student working on something that was at their level. So it's really good for differentiation. One thing that I know some teachers like to do is the article a day set. So it's about a 10-minute activity. Every day of the week, there will be uh, an article based on the same topic, and then the following week, the topic will change to something new. Um, but just like with the one I showed you, they read through the passage, and then instead of questions, their directions are to just write two or three things that they learnt, so that then they can have a conversation about what they took away from the article, and at the end of the week, they can talk about all the different things they learnt about that specific topic. I know it's been very good for some students to kind of improve their world knowledge and get them more interested in what's going on in the world. So that's basically how I would use it. I use it, I assign my students reading passages that are at their level. Like I said, I prefer to print them. That's just because of how I work with the students at the moment. Um, for the ISTE standards, it's it would fit with 2.7a alternative assessments. It's just another way of assessing their reading comprehension. Um, it would also fit with 2.5a, accommodating learner differences, because, like I said, you can set different passages for different students and you can change the lexile level to suit each one of your students' needs.